Cricket is a gentleman's game, or maybe it was, but not anymore, as it has become extremely competitive, especially with the kind of money riding on each and every game. But if you still think that this is a gentleman's game, then please go ahead and watch this video. Today at Simply Chumma, we are presenting the top 10 most disgraceful incidents in cricket ever. Just a little reminder, we make cricket-based and sports-based videos every week on this channel, Simply Chumma. We have shifted all the other trivia top 10s and ranking videos to our new channel, Simply Curious. If you are curious enough, then please do check out that channel. The link is given in the description below. Let's get on with this video. Number 10, Dennis Lillee and his aluminium bat. You will find Lillee once again later in the list, but this is the first instance. Well, generally batsmen are expected to have a willow in their hands, but Dennis Lillee decided to take an aluminium bat onto the field, which was damaging the ball. The captain of the opposition team and the umpires asked him to change the bat, but Lillee just threw his bat away in anger.
In some way,
Lillee has violently thrown that bat away.
Lillee had obviously been keeping all those empty tin cans for a reason. But recycling is not always appreciated, Dennis.
Number 9, Ian Chappell. In the World Series Cricket Super Test final, Ian Chappell bowled an extreme wide ball so that the opposition doesn't win it with their bat. The intentional wide was not appreciated by the media.
5 for 226, the world side.
World 11 winning the final Super Test by 5 wickets, but a somewhat strange ending with Ian Chappell intentionally bowling wide.
Number 8, deliberate no ball to deprive 100. Randeep, the off-spinner, deliberately bowled a no ball to deprive Virendra Sehwag, the Indian opener, of a century in the Tri-Series. In a match where India needed 1 run of almost 15 overs remaining to win, Sehwag needed 1 run to reach his century. Randeep bowled a no ball so that Sehwag could not reach his 100 milestone. Extremely disgraceful. Randeep was suspended by the Sri Lankan cricket after that incident.
Tells us, but that's a big no ball. By 6 wickets that claimed the bonus point, Sehwag remains 99 not out.
Number 7, the bodyline incident. This series is epitomized as a blot on the face of the English cricketers who played the Ashes 1932-33. The bodyline theory was put into force by the English skipper Douglas Jardine to stop Don Bradman from piling up big runs. And in it, the bowlers targeted the Number 6, Rashid Latif dropped catch claim. Rashid Latif, Pakistan's then captain, was banned for 5 one-day internationals after being found guilty of violating the International Cricket Council's Code of Conduct during the 3rd Test against Bangladesh in 2003. Latif appeared to pull off a spectacular take, flying in front of the first slip, but television replays showed the ball popping out of his gloves as he got up from the floor after rolling over twice. And that wicket of Alok Kapali changed the entire match in Pakistan's favour. Many think it robbed Bangladesh from their maiden test victory. Number 5, the collision. In an ODI match between New Zealand and England at the Oval, the Kiwi batsman Grant Elliott took off for a single and the bowler Ryan Sidebottom charged to grab the ball. But in the middle of the pitch, both collided and both lost ground to lay flat on their backs. Meanwhile, the fielders picked up the ball and ran Elliott out. After much discussion, the English skipper Collingwood decided not to withdraw the appeal and Elliott was given out as the umpires did not have a choice. Ironically, a few matches before that, Collingwood was caught wandering out of his crease and Daniel Vettori withdrew his appeal. Both these incidents were cited as examples to explain how disgraceful the English team had been or become.
Given out, run out. Grant Elliott is not at all happy, nor will New Zealand be. Just have another look at this. Now, to me, there's nothing intentional from anybody. I don't think side bottom is getting in Elliott's way. Neither do I think Elliott. In fact, I think Elliott is trying to get out of side bottom's way as he goes for the ball, whatever the late swerves, Barry.
Yeah, difficult one. It's happened before, and there's a lot who would say that you don't take the bails off in situations like that. England decided to do that. The captain decided that the appeal should stand, and he'll have to live with it.
New Zealand are normally a good outfit. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, if Asad Rauf is calling for the television umpire, I don't think that it's a case of judging whether Collingwood is out of his ground. He was way out of his ground. But a discussion there as to whether over was already called before the throw of the stumps was initiated, and I think that is what Daryl Harper is discussing there with Asad Rauf. Has Collingwood heard Daryl Harper call over, and that's why he wandered out of his crease? It is not a situation of whether Collingwood was out of his ground. He was when the ball hit the stumps. Discussion here now. Was the ball dead?
Well, it might just be a question here from the umpire to Daniel Vettori. Do you want him to go? We know he's out of his crease. Do you want to call him? Not call him back, he hasn't gone yet, but do you want to say that he's gone? Now, a big issue for Vettori. He's going to go to his team and discuss, what do we do here, chaps? And it caused all sorts of problems. Now, what happened? He just wanders out of his crease, I think. Yeah, he does. Well, technically it's out. Now, has Daryl Harper, though, called over before that hit the stump?
Was out of his ground. Out. Says the third umpire. Now, whether that is far and apart from what Daryl Harper is asking here.
How deep are those scars from what happened at the Oval? I think this is what it might be about. How deep are those scars? Paul Collingwood was England's captain. He didn't call back Grant Elliott, who had an incident with Ryan Sidebottom. They ran into each other, and there was a lot of animosity. Now, there's a lot of chat out there right now.
We've seen some controversy. Strauss calling back Matthews. The umpires not allowing Graham Smith a run. Right, so we have a resolution here, folks, and forgive us for the pause in bringing you the exact information, which we shall over the course. I would assume that Daryl Harper and Daniel Vettori.
Number 4, the Lillee kick. In the late 70s, Dennis Lillee tried to stop Miandad from taking a single. After some exchange of words, Miandad went to complete the single, but Lillee did not stop there, and he kicked Javed Miandad from the back. The batsman in retaliation tried to hit Lillee, but the umpire prevented a full-fledged street fight on the field.
Hello? My goodness. Well, this is absolutely disgraceful. It really is absolutely stupid. I cannot understand. Lillee actually asked for that. He encroached upon Javed Miandad's line, and we very nearly had ourselves a fight on the ground. I really think that that's very silly, and I think that Greg Chappell is actually having a pretty harsh word there with Dennis Lillee.
I sincerely hope so, because that was a terrible thing to see on the cricket field. He is taking antagonism far too far. Glad to see Greg Chappell come into that. And as you can see there, aiming a kick at Javed Miandad, and Miandad aiming to hit Lillee with a bat. Umpire Crafty here doing a very good job.
That was the second part of that incident. In fact, I would suggest that it was started by Lillee on this occasion. Lillee gets his hands up and in fact moves backwards now to get into Javed Miandad's way, I think. Javed Miandad prepared to go around him. Lillee moving across into his way. Now remember, Javed Miandad's out of his crease there. Lillee sticking the shoulder into Meandad, and of course Meandad pushing him because he's got to get into the...
Number 3, the Sandpaper Gate scandal. A very captivating test series between South Africa and Australia was going on, and Bancroft of Australia was rubbing sandpaper to tamper the ball under the instructions of the then captain Smith and vice captain Warner. The three were punished with 1-year ban, which also resulted in Darren Lehman, the then coach of Australia, to quit his job. The entire cricketing world was shaken, especially Australian cricket, and they are slowly coming out of it.
With the condition of the ball, and that could be why that action from Cameron Bancroft.
At the end of the play that day, Bancroft was accompanied by Smith, both admitting to having altered the condition of the ball using a foreign substance.
On myself, I saw an opportunity to potentially use some tape, get some granules from the rough patches on the wicket, and tried to change the ball.
He still continues to captain the Australian men's cricket team in the absence of Steve Smith. Warner and Smith were excluded from the Australian cricket contracts list, which meant that they were not getting paid from Cricket Australia for the rest of the year. They were also to earn 2.4 million Australian dollars from the 2018 edition of IPL, from which they were barred. On March 28th of this year, Cricket Australia can move past what has been one of the toughest years for its cricket in the modern era. 2018 may have left a bad taste.
Number 2, match fixing and the cost of it. This incident stunned the whole cricketing world. Asif and Amir bowled a deliberate no ball with consent at the insistence of their captain Salman Butt in exchange for huge sums of money. A sting operation revealed the matter, and investigative authorities found all three of them guilty of spot fixing and cheating, and a court in England sent them to prison. All three have served their sentences and are back playing the game. Before that, there was a huge investigation that happened in the 90s, and many players were in the spotlight. The most important of them was Hansie Cronje, who was one of the most respected captains in cricket history until then. Number 1, the underarm delivery. It was during an ODI between Australia and New Zealand in 1981. With 1 ball of the final over remaining, New Zealand required 6 runs to tie the match. To ensure that New Zealand did not get the runs they needed, the Australian captain, Greg Chappell, instructed his bowler and younger brother, Trevor Chappell, to deliver the last ball to Brian McKechnie underarm along the ground. This action was legal at the time, but nevertheless, it was seen as being against the spirit of cricketing fair play.
That's what's beaten Ian Smith. The fact that it's kept a little bit low, it's getting across the line, a big hit over mid-wicket. It's gone underneath his bat and just hit. Now, just under halfway up the stumps. Ian Smith is out and bowled Trevor Chappell for 4. 8 down for 229, and New Zealand's only hope now is a 6 off the last ball for a tie.
On discussion. Well, it looks to me as if they're going to bowl underarm off the last ball. Rod Marsh is saying no, mate, but I'm sure he's going to bowl an underarm delivery on the last ball and bowl it along the ground, and be sure that it has not been hit for 6. The umpires have been told, the batsmen have been told, and this is possibly a little bit disappointing. Let's make sure it is an underarm, but I've got the feeling the ex-Victorian skipper, we're going to bowl an underarm. We haven't believed it. That's a disappointing finish. Disappointed Brian McKechnie, the crowd boo. It's all over. After 50 overs, New Zealand 8 for 229. Well, that's disappointing. Bruce Edgar saying, what's going on? Very disappointed, Bruce Edgar. At the moment, Coward's coming onto the field.
Now, one of the New Zealanders are disappointed, and
none of them more disappointed than their skipper Geoffrey Howe. There he is now, talking with the two umpires Cronin and Weezer, and I know exactly the reason he's out there. He's played his cricket over in the United Kingdom with Surrey for a number of years, and the Benson and Hedges domestic competition there.
What do you think of this list? This is part 1 and we will be bringing you the part 2 very soon. We hope you enjoyed this videos and the efforts that we are taking to give you different informative cricket videos. Do give us your encouragement by pressing the like button, share button, and of course, do subscribe to Simply Chuma. We would love if you can show the same kind of support to our new channel, Simply Curious, as well.